Just delighted to have you all here and to welcome back Françoise. And Françoise, I hope that as you introduce yourself, that you will share some of the wonderful information about your name and your languages that you were just telling me about, which is fascinating. And we're also delighted to have Sue Claydon here with us from the Week of Prayer for World Peace, who has a very dear connection to Françoise in that Françoise won the Wilson Hinkes Award this year from the Week of Prayer for World Peace. So it's lovely to have you here supporting Françoise as well, Sue. Thank you. So Françoise, I'm going to be your tech person and I will share your slides when you're ready. But first, I'd love for you to share with everyone else about your name and where you are and your languages. And we're delighted to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure. I've been waiting for this day. I remember something last year when I was programmed for January, and I was asking how is it going to look like, and the day has come. So I'm excited and I'm very grateful to you all. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity you've given me. I will speak a little bit in my dialect before I come back to English. I speak about 4 different languages, and I will change from one of them, but I will speak in English so you can hear me. Ngamongo gali ongetin tambo Ngnedjou Françoise Fouté. Ngembo menbo fa doctor. Mange fa doctor ta ne ete te mungo sekhu ngengo we ta PhD. Donc ngembo li omongo gamu pu ne fa tenge fa nti oyi shike hambo ma. So I'm just trying to say that my name is Ngnedjou Françoise Fouté. Fouté is actually a royal name for us, and it is given to children that have a particular from their parents. And I'm a public health specialist and a community leader. I did nursing and midwifery in Nigeria. I came back to Cameroon and continued where I did a master's in public health. And during my training in public health, I saw the suffering of people in the community. Actually, my thesis was on primary health care delivery and its influence on maternal and child health. And so I was really, really down to the community. And by the end of that study, I had to rally some of my mates. That is why our organization, which is called Family Health and Development Foundation, with the acronym FAHEDEF, is made up of mainly medical healthcare workers, because I had to gather my friends and share the vision with them about our desire of going to different communities to give our services. And many of them were excited to join. And that's how we created this organization back in 2012. And it was legally recognized in 2013. But we were all workers working in different hospitals and in different settings. And so during our leave, we used to come together, choose a community, go and give free medical services. Amongst us, you could see midwives, which will handle maternal and reproductive health cases. You could see those that will handle geriatric cases. You could see those that will handle pediatric cases. So we share ourselves whenever we come to the community. We have a health education and we do free medical campaign and give drugs. These were really funded by mainly myself and other healthcare workers. Then I used to have a very good job. And after my master's in public health, because in public health, I did epidemiology, I also had the desire to do community health, which was another option. So I took a course in India on community-driven development. And since then, I've really stopped clinical work and given myself to the community in trying to develop this community, but rooted mainly in compassion, dignity, and care for the most vulnerable in the community. So we have different areas where we carry out activities. We have the agriculture, we have education, women's empowerment, and peace building, entrepreneur, and food transformation. In fact, as the name implies, family health, we accompany families to make sure they are socially, physically, emotionally stable, and that they transmit the right moral values to the children so that they can be better than their parents. Especially the refugees we work with, they are really, really affected by many things that have made them withdrawn in the society. But we try to give them hope and speak to them and cater for them and show them love, let them know that somebody somewhere cares for them and loves them. Thank you. That's a little bit of the introduction before we get into my slides this evening. That's a brief introduction about myself and how the work started. Thank you.
Okay, Françoise, I'm going to find your slides that you shared with me now. Here they are.
Yeah, so this is what I was trying to say, a bit background about myself. Being a public health specialist, a community leader, I was the main person in the creation of the Family Health and Development Foundation, which is based in Yaoundé, Cameroon. My basic training is in nursing and midwifery, but I worked all through as a midwife, taking care of pregnant women, carrying out deliveries, and managing children. And during my practice as a midwife, I was particularly interested in the first 1,000 days, which is the first day of conception till the second birthday of a child. It is a very key window in the growth of a child, which if you lay down the right thing, the right nutrition, the right mindset, that child will grow very well and to be impactful in the community and in the society. So the first 1,000 days have 8 concepts that talks about the feeding of the mother and then the feeding of the child and weaning and how the woman has to take care of herself. So I was so in love with first 1,000 days and I kept talking about it. And it is still going with me today because you will see in my work in the community, apart from that, I take care of these vulnerable. I'm also rooted in making sure that they have good nutrition. Knowing that good nutrition will help the brain of these children to grow properly so they can even understand what the teachers are teaching them in school, so they can also grow properly and socialize properly. If you see the brain of a malnourished child at 3 years and a brain of a well-nourished child, there is great difference. And the community where we work, most of these children are malnourished. For the past 2 years, I've been trying to feed them to see how we can bring up some out of that malnutrition, especially that you can see most of them with dental caries. And in the hospital, it was diagnosed, it is the caries that is linked to malnutrition. Okay, I can now start explaining the slides. Yes, this is some of our program in the community with the children. And the interesting part is that we work with the children and their parents. And so sometimes it is the day for the children. Sometimes it is the day that is mixed with the children and their parents. Sometimes it's a day that is mixed with the parents. But whenever we call the parents to work with them, the children are always present. So this day, typically, we were doing an environmental program and planting some trees, not only fruit trees, But we have our apple tree we were planting there, the Wambugu apple that we got from Kenya. And we also had moringa. I don't know if people know about moringa. Moringa is a plant that is very good for malnutrition. So we had to plant in the community that day and share some trees to children to go and plant it in their backyard, because it can really, really help in many. It's a natural plant that takes care of many diseases. So we have a lot of moringa in our center. So, and it is free for anybody to use it when they want it. And we also make sure that these children have access to it. So in our agricultural program presently, we also grow a lot of vegetables that we share with the parents when it is ready. But we grow that vegetable together as a community effort or as a family effort, both the parents, the children, and the staff of my organization. We organize a day or two in the community where everyone comes out, and then we plant our vegetables. We take care of the vegetables until it's ready, and then we harvest and share. We look forward to a time where we will not only harvest and share, we will harvest and have a space where people will cook their different traditional food with it. We have a lot of traditional food. With one vegetable, it can be cooked in several ways, which represent different cultures and different traditions. Thank you. Next slide. I don't know if I'll take question at the end or after each slide, but this is our education platform. And the education platform, we have, what we do as concerns education is, since 3 years, we pay school fees for children in the community. When we started, we had 4 families with about 20 children, right? We have a lot of children, right? We had 4 families with 20 children where we paid their fees about 3 years back. The next year, it was 40 children we had to pay fees for. And this year, we had 72 children to pay fees for. So it is growing, and really at a speed that we cannot even contain. I don't know, God is helping us to know how to, the strategy to use, and that's why we really need volunteers to come to the community to see what we are doing and help us to do it better, because it's really getting overwhelming. Yeah, so every September, October, we give books for back to school to these children. We organize with their school the paying of their fees, and then we also follow up their educational aspect by doing some basic literacy program, because we realize that some of them, even though they go to school, they still cannot read and write. So on Saturdays, we usually have a basic literacy program, and twice we've organized a literacy program for even their parents, so they can be able to help the children when they come back from school. And also, if we want to do good women empowerment and automation with these women, they need to learn at least how to read and write. So those are the 2 things that pushed us to do basic literacy with their parents. And I bet you it was a very interesting program. We usually start at 6 a.m. You will not believe that at 6 a.m. mothers are running to the classroom to be taught how to read and write. And our first session ended with a national station, Cell TV, that came to witness how women that have never been to school, through a program organized in a month, they were able to read and write. But unfortunately, it is we could not sustain the program, but some of them are still able to keep what they learned, but some could have also benefited if we had continued the program. So that's the much or the little we do as far as education is concerned. And if there are no questions, we go to the next program, which we carry out. We do a lot also on climate change, and we all know the hazard climate change is causing, and there's a lot of pollution here and there in the community. And one of our program in climate change is teaching the children actually the effects of climate change and air pollution. We also do the menstrual hygiene program where we teach the young girls, and sometimes the boys are present, as you can see, how to make their own pad with materials that are biodegradable, with thread and needle, first of all, so you can identify the materials even in your home and do it. So we teach them with thread and needle, but we look forward to doing it at large scale so that we can share it in different schools and in a larger community. So in our climate change program, we also have the tree planting, where we plant trees in schools and also in the community. And then we try to clean the community and the river. And this is all done with the children, where we select a day we go to the community. I like this picture with the caterpillar at the side, because for me, it's a very, it shows, it represents a lot for me. There was a time I saw a big dustbin in the community, and I started going from house to house to ask parents to give me their children so that we will remove that dustbin. I did not even have materials like shovel, like barrows, but I was so courageous that I'm going to empty that dustbin. We are going to push that dustbin away. And you know, one Sunday after church, I went to the community. The community where I work is about 40, 45 minutes from me. I went to the community and I was talking with one of the parents. And when I turned behind, I saw a caterpillar. Somebody came with a caterpillar to remove the rubbish I was planning to remove with the children. And when I see the rubbish that was removed, I asked myself, how could I have even thought I will do this kind of work? You see how faith and your heart can move you into things. It's not like God sent that man. I said, as I was talking with that parent, I turned, I said, my body was full with goose. Said, this is an answered prayer. So that caterpillar means a lot to me. There was a very big dustbin that was really littered and disturbing. I was calling these children. We couldn't have picked one, I don't know how many of that dustbin, but that is how the caterpillar uplifted that every day. I was just marvel and watching, said how prayers can be answered. You just need to make your request and God sees your sincerity. I left church, left my family, go to the community on that Sunday, and I was just moved with what happened. So that is why I keep keeping that caterpillar somewhere, because it represents something very, very dear to me. Okay, that is a little that we do on climate change. And this is a program on women empowerment, and you can see on this picture, women were peeling cassava. Yes, here we're peeling cassava to transform it. And then you will see the different stage of transformation. And then on this other one, you see young girls trying to wash pap. You know what is pap? It's made from cereals. That's corn. It's made from corn. So it's like a cereal. So we have a way of washing the pap. So I was teaching them different methods of doing it. And that is how we empower ourselves. And then this one was a particular program that we got from the Canadian Embassy that was increasing agricultural yield. So where we teach these women organic farming, so to increase their yield. And now when they increase their yield, what will they do now that the yield is increased? How do they preserve it? How do they use it in a season where there is none? So we went into food transformation. If you see what she's having is in her hand, is okra that has been dehydrated. So it can be used at any time, any season, anytime. So we are able to dehydrate different foodstuffs so we can preserve them and share it when the season is lacking. Like now we are in the heat of dry season, so food like vegetable is really hard and very, very expensive. You don't find rain. It is really, really dry. So sometimes the vegetables will dehydrated. This is the season that we usually share and for every parent. So during our women empowerment program and one of the literacy program, we identified the needs of every woman, that is in terms of autonomization. And we saw that many wanted to do some small businesses, some wanted to learn tailoring, and we are still trusting God to provide for us to meet their needs. And that is in terms of teaching them the tailoring that they identified, or providing some funds for them to start some small business so they can be able to take care of their children. Because for us to pay fees and keep doing this, it's not sustainable enough. They need to do something so that they can take care of their families. Yeah. The next slide. Here we do peace building with these children because there is really intergenerational violence with them. And we've had situation where the school has called, because the school knows us, since we go directly to the school with the list of names of children and pay the fees of these children. So there's this particular children that the school, sometimes they go in shift. So this week they may be going from 8 o'clock or 7:30 to 3. The next week they'll be going from 12. So the school, they go in shift. And we have some children that were hindered from coming to school in the morning because of the rate of violence. And when we see it, they've learned it from home. We really want to break that cycle of violence. So we have a program on violence prevention and peace building, where we help to encourage the children to love themselves, to care for their brothers, and to take care of each other. This picture in the middle with this young man, I met him sometime and I was telling him about my community. And he planned to visit my community to see how it is. And the first day he came, he saw a child walk into the center with trousers that have very big holes on the buttocks. He asked me, is this thing still existing? I cannot believe that I can still see a child in places with the trousers torn like this. I said, I didn't plan it for you to see it, but you've seen it, so it's real. This child doesn't have another thing than what you see the child wearing. And so this young boy was very moved. He started organizing some organizations that can give dresses and shoes. So through him, we've been able to share shoes twice in the community, and also dresses. And in that time, people send dresses to us. Like now, people send dresses to us to share to them in the community. So it is this young boy's visit. So I keep encouraging people to visit us. You can see something, you can help us to direct us how to do. And he was also moved that day to see how we're teaching them to read. This is a book of a 30 series that we work with these children on Saturdays. And it is really hard because most of them, even though they go to school, they still cannot read. So we have to take them through the reading so they will recognize it, but they can really recite it for you. Some of them are very intelligent, but because they've delayed in school, before we came, that's about 3 years back, they were in and out of school. So the parents may start paying and may never finish the fees till the end of the school year, and the child will be sent out of school. He has to repeat that class. So many of them repeated severally, and the age has caught them 16 years. They are still in primary and they don't feel like continuing school. So we're still battling on how to deal with those ones, how to orientate them in the different trades they can do. We don't yet have a vocational center, but we are planning towards that. If the Lord will help us. So we still have issues with those that have left primary and don't feel comfortable at their age getting into secondary. They still roam around, which is really not good for us and the community. So this day they were told to draw a picture of what comes in their mind. So everyone was excited to show a picture of what was able to draw. Thank you. Next slide. This is a site that we received, and we are looking forward to have it as a permanent site. It was a gift to us from the Schmidts. The Schmidts are tent makers, and they've lived in Cameroon for over 45 years doing missionary work. And they started following me into different communities, I think in 2019 years. When I'm going to a community, she'll offer her car, or maybe she'll come and the husband, and then they'll buy snacks. We'll go to different communities, sometimes 3 hours drive, sometimes 2 hours drive to do some community work. And when I now started in this particular community in Kolanga, one day she visited me and she was amazed with what we were doing. Most of the time we may be indoor, closed doors. You will not know what we are doing, but she surprised us. And when she entered, she was amazed with what we were doing, the work we were doing with the young girls. That day, I think we had sessions with the young girls. And she said, Françoise, I want to offer you this tent to enlarge your work. So unfortunately, the tent is still in the same shape. It's supposed to have a basement where there is a dormitory under and some rooms and some offices, because we are foreseeing having volunteers in the future. They will be comfortable in the place of work, in an office, and in their room where they will have. So we are looking forward to having supports to help us put up the walls, because I think the main foundation has been laid, and there is an embankment wall, like you can see. It's a hall of 14 by 18 years, I think. And now, so we have to remove the earth in one of the parts so that we can make it an underground and build it up and make it into a beautiful structure. Sorry, I didn't upload the picture how this finished work is. It is a beautiful site at the finished work. So that's what we are looking forward to having. And also other thing we are looking forward to receiving as support is, since we do transformation, especially for cassava produces a lot of gas. So if we could get a biodigester where rubbish, food waste, so we can sensitize the community how to select waste. We put our food waste, it will generate fertilizer for us, organic fertilizer that we will use in growing more and more vegetables, and share also with the community to grow organic vegetables. And also we can get gas that can be used in our food transformation. This is the little I have to share with you. Like I told Sister Margaret at the beginning, now we are on cassava transformation. We are teaching different people how to transform cassava into different products. Cassava is a plant that is eaten from the leaf to the root or the tubers. Every part of it is very, very useful. And today there is innovation in cassava. We could make syrup from cassava really without using any sugar. We can make yogurt from cassava without using sugar. The back of cassava can be used to produce flour that we will use for pastries. So probably if I'm given an opportunity next time, those are the things I'll be able to show how the cassava transformation went, and how somebody can learn something from that also. So with that, I'm open to any questions, any advice, any suggestion. Thank you. In 4 years, we started taking care of these children. So they're still around. They're still around. And I just said, unfortunately, some of them have dropped out of school. They could not get into college, their age, they see their counterparts doing other things. So, but most of them are still around. They actually give hands because there are times when we have activities, we call on these children, we call on their parents, and they give a helping hand in what we are doing. Yeah. When we finish an activity, they go home and sleep, and I keep thinking of what is the next thing to do. This action we have done has produced this effect. It has opened a wound sometime and that needs to be healed. And how do we heal it? So it gives me even more energy to come again to face the next day. I hardly sleep for some time now. I've really been like the community is a mission that was given to me, as if it is a mission that was given to me to accomplish. So I really do it with all my heart, with all my might, with all that I can. You need to see me jump in and out when I'm in the community. So I don't know where the strength comes from, really, because sometimes I come home, I'm drained, I'm tired. I lie down for 3-4 hours. Before you know it, I'm out of bed, and I don't know where the strength comes from, but I just have a kind of inner push to do something for somebody. I just, I'm not, I'm not discouraged with what my eyes are seeing, but I know that there are some seeds that are being laid that will not die.
Françoise, just as an example, can you tell everybody what you have done today, just today? And now it's midnight your time. I know you will be back to work in a few hours, but tell everyone what it is you have done already today.
Yeah, it's been a very busy day. I I I I had a launch of an activity today, which I was contacted to train 60 refugees and the internally displaced on cassava transformation and maize transformation. So we've been doing this for some time, and it is not just transforming to make money, but let them know that they can eat quality from the tubers they bring from the farm. Value can be added to it, and it will be nutritive, and it will bring energy to the body and to for them to function. So I've been doing that with them locally, but we were contacted to train many other people. And so we are carrying them into a training where we use bags of cassava to make flour, and that flour is even very rich than the tuber itself. We use cassava to make yogurt that everyone can eat and grow healthy. We use cassava to make flour that we use for our pastries, and that's what I've been busy doing this week. And particularly today, when I was called for this and when I had to speak, telling them how we started with just 4 families with 22. Today, we have about 200 women trying to join our organization. We're not able to carry 50, talk less of 200. So the days that we have to share food, because the sibling keeper sends us also sometime from time to time some funds. She's been regular since February, where we started that, to give cereals back to the families. And so you need to see the day that we are sharing. The list of people we have, they come more than that. And we keep saying which strategy will be used, but we make sure that no mother leaves that place without having something to go home with that can eat with children. Our website was created by Emmanuel Ivogba, who is the regional coordinator for the URI in Africa. And he visited Cameroon in 2023, December. And my organization, because we are a CC, Corporation Circle there, and when he came to my community, he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing. when we share this food, we have an enriched food, savory food that we prepare and give these children. And when we share, he saw how every child was clinging to his food and we not even want, he was moved. And let me tell you, then we used to have our meeting under a tree. We did not have a building, neither a chair where we sit on, but work was going on. He was so moved. And when he went back, he said, I'm going to make a website. And for the past 2 years, he's the one that has been handling that website and paying for it. So we're excited we have a website, but it is somebody that came and visited us and he saw it and started paying for that website. This year, he told me he's not able, and fortunately, Pato of Ubuntu said, Françoise, I'm going to pay for the website this year. So it's Pato that paid for the web because it was done again in December. I think you realized that, Sister Margaret, sometime in December. You called my attention to it. So one of the meetings when we were talking, I said, my website is done, and Pato said, I'm going to take care of that. So that's how our website is on. But unfortunately, Emmanuel is the one that is still having the key to it. He said he doesn't know how to separate it from his account. So we can manage, because the work we do is huge. If we have to put it on our website, it will just be moving almost daily. So sometimes our phones are full. Like now, my phones are full. I cannot even take good pictures in the community, or when I have to come down, you have to look for a camera. So some of those logistics, I really don't want to speak about it because you don't say everything, but you ask that people's heart will be touched to detect some things and see what to do. But if you want to talk about every little logistic, I think last 2 weeks you realized my camera was not coming on my computer. So my computer was down. How will I come and tell people, somebody, help me get a computer? So those are some of the logistics that are really hard for us, internet and the bits.
Yeah.
We have a faith that we can keep doing, and somehow, there'll be a way.
And now you all will realize when you are on a Sunday evening session of alignment and you see Françoise log in, what she has been doing the rest of the day without rest and is coming to share that sacred time and space with us. We're so grateful. We are here. We will continue to walk beside you and we will share your work, and grateful that you are a part of us at Alignment, Françoise. Thank you. Our love to you, our strength to you, and our prayers always with you. Thank you,
very much.
Thank you so much.